right, Sean, NCAA champion, heck of a last lap. Congratulations. What are your emotions right now?
Gratitude, extremely grateful. My coach talked to me about that before I raced for the first time since injury in indoor track, and kind of since then, that's really stuck with me. Just being incredibly grateful for every race, for being pain-free running, for my coaches, family, and teammates, for everyone helping me get back to the starting line and then continuing to improve, and extremely grateful for this last moment in a Stanford jersey.
Yeah, talking about the team, we've been talking to your teammates all day today as they pick up NCAA titles, and that's just such a common theme, is the championship mentality that Stanford has instilled in all of you, and that when you guys bring that here to Eugene. What has that support been like, and how did your coaches get you guys mentally to that level?
I mean, first off, it's incredible. I think watching our women yesterday, I mean, to go 1-2 in javelin, 3rd in shot put, 8th in hammer, and that was all just our throw squad. They're an incredible group of women, and I think they fire up just as much as my guy teammates doing well on Wednesday. And I think from day one we have a championship mentality, and we know we're going to continue to get better as the season goes on. We think we're in the best, if not one of the best conferences throughout the entire year, and I think that level of competition really makes you bring your A game everywhere you go, and I think that's why we're able to compete so well at a national level. Is we treat it the exact same we have every other race.
And you and Grant both brought your A game tonight in the 5,000 meter. That last lap was blazing. Were you guys expecting that? Was that the race plan going into it?
We talked about a lot of different race plans, but the biggest thing was to not be too attached to one. And the thing Coach Milne and I really talked about was trusting myself. I think that as I've come back, I started to get back to the way I would race my junior year, and just having that level of confidence. When I go to the lead, it's not to try and run away from everyone, because I don't think I can kick the last lap, but it's to be proactive and take things into my own hand and run that entire last lap, not being worried about what's behind me. And I think that this was like the first time I think I've really done that all season. Obviously good timing, but I think each week I've been getting better, and I think that really showed, and I think it helps when I'm practicing every day with one of the best guys in the nation. Watching him last year back on campus, I mean, that was such joy I had to see him win as a sophomore. I mean, he's still incredibly young. I know he's a junior now, but I know he'll be back, and I'm hoping we can keep it in the family.
And the Hayward Magic was very real tonight. That crowd was going crazy.
Oh, that was loud.
It's your senior year. What were like some of the emotions that were going on the track?
I mean, I think I was kind of blown away by how loud it was going into that last 800, and I think that really helps to feed off that. And then just really tried to buckle down that last lap. But heading into 100 to go, I really felt good, and I did look up, and I was like, I can win this. And I think that was a pretty incredible feeling to have. And so that last lap too, that's the first time I've ever been able to do a victory lap around Hayward. So that was pretty special as well.
What was the strategy? It's different, to go to the lead with a K to go. It's not that often that guy wins.
Yeah.
Was that the plan from the start?
We talked about a lot of different strategies. We didn't know if it was going to be a fast or slow race. I think anywhere from a mile out, Coach Milne trusts me. I trust myself. And I think the biggest thing is that if you're going to go to the lead, I wanted to go to the lead knowing I was doing that to win, not just to try and get people or break open the pack. So I kind of just wanted to feel it out, and then, when I win, I just wanted to be decisive and trust myself. I kind of told myself again at 500, I was like, here we go. And then just that entire last lap to kind of go through my gears, and when, the guy came up next to me, I'm not sure which Campbell runner it was, but just to trust myself and go through my gears. But I started to feel myself get going into that last gear with 200 meters to go, and I felt good, and that's what we've been working on. So, I was pretty happy with how it played out.
What did Milne do this past 2 months? He didn't have any groundbreaking performances leading up to this moment. Did you know that you still had you were ready to be in winning shape? Or?
Well, I think each week we were just continuing to get better. Obviously I would have liked to have a couple faster performances, but I think I really had to build. I basically had to take a year off with my Achilles, and that was an incredibly trying and hard time, and I have some incredible teammates that really helped me get back. Some that I raced with today, some that are competing tomorrow. We have an incredible group of people, and I don't think I'm back here without their help. And so I just think each week we kind of wanted to get better. I think Pac-12 was kind of that switching point in the mentality. I know I didn't win any races there, but I think that was the first time I started to kind of race like myself again with that level of confidence. I think regionals was a step in the right direction, but I think that last lap I was running a little scared, just waiting for Grant or Andy to pull up next to me. and then when Grant did with like 100 to go, I didn't really react. So I think that was a big thing, was when I go to the lead, do it because you're being proactive and don't be reactive, just waiting for someone to pull up next to me. And I was pretty happy with how I was able to execute that today.
What's next for you?
Hopefully USA is not actually qualified, but that's the plan. And then I think especially just coming off, I haven't raced a ton, so I think I'd like to give Europe a try and see if we can get some of those faster performances, and then figure things out from there, because it was my last time in a Cardinal jersey, and so see what the future holds.
Given all your injury problems, your fifth-year senior to finally win,
it's pretty special and pretty amazing. Incredibly grateful, like I said. The Achilles was really the only big injury I've had. My freshman year I had a stress fracture in my back, but I think that was just probably a function of adjusting. So this was just an injury that kind of took a while to finally just decide we needed to have surgery. But since then, I'm running pain-free.
Did you have surgery?
I did in June after graduation. So last year I was at home watching Grant. But since then, I'm running and feel better than I ever have, especially during my junior year. So I'm very optimistic about what the future holds, because I know my best running still ahead of me.
Nice having your brother train with you.
Oh, that's been such a blessing. There's never any pressure to come to Stanford, but I think my freshman year, I joked with him. I was like, my fifth year, your freshman year, I was like, we can run a DMR together. And obviously we would have liked that to play out a little differently. Fourth is still great, but I think just having him there and being able to share experiences that, had become routine for me just adds so much more. Seeing him in the locker room, those are memories that I'll never forget. It's the very small things, not the big things, that mean the world. He's made this past year, my favorite year at Stanford, and I'm incredibly, blessed to have that memory as well. And I think he would say the same. But both my brothers, fill my life with so much joy, laughter, and support. So incredibly lucky to have them, and to obviously share college with them was another blessing.
What's the relationship between the guys, the top four guys in that race for all individual NCAA champions? We were talking to Justin Knight, and he said, well, it was really cool that you won your fifth-year senior. So a lot of mutual respect there? Oh,
absolutely. When we were on the line, right before we were about to go off, we talked about that this was our last one together in college, uniforms. And, I know that I'm going up against, some of the best guys in the NCAA. I get to train with one, which is very special. But, ever since I raced Justin at Trinidad and Tobago, at NACAX my freshman year, we've been friends since. Andy's incredibly talented. I think we all respect each other and know that, in different situations the other might win. But, I don't think you can be upset when you're losing to, other people. He's a world finalist. So, obviously, everyone's got quite a resume.
Are there any training groups you're eyeing?
I think I want to feel everything out. I don't really want to give anything away right now. But I think, we've next couple weeks try and figure out where, hopefully I can end up. I think it's an incredible blessing to be in that situation, to continue running. I think that, it's really what I love to do, and so to be in a situation where I can hopefully continue that with a group of like-minded people, is something I'm really looking forward to.
A couple of years ago, you were second here in a very fast time, and you ran 3:53 in a mile. Do you feel like you're back to where you were then?
I think so. I think that especially the way I'm racing, but also I think just the fitness. I just think, we were hoping that Peyton was going to be a fast race, especially with the caliber of the field. It just didn't really play out that way. And then I think Cardinal was definitely a great experience for me. It was the first 5K I'd run in 2 years, and that was definitely a grind. But I think that, like I said, each race I think I'm just feeling more and more like myself. And I do think the biggest thing is the mental side and how I'm going into it with a certain level of confidence, which I would say mirrors junior year, where I think the function of those fast times is just going in and not really placing any limits and just saying, we're going to go attack this.